Hello, everyone, and welcome to Take 5, our Thursday edition. A lot going on these days. I hope your day is going okay. School is getting ready to get started again. We're watching a hurricane slam Texas and Louisiana. Boy, life happens, doesn't it? And I mentioned school starting again because in this very relevant passage of Scripture from the book of James, he moves now to talk specifically about how we use our tongues. And before he even goes there, he talks about teachers, because teachers use their tongues. They talk a lot. And so, sort of in honor of teachers who are about to start school, or parents that are going to be teaching their kids this year, we're going to look at this verse of Scripture. I think we're just going to look at one verse in James chapter 3, and then tomorrow on Friday we'll look at a few more verses that all have to do with teachers. But I want you to hear his initial, in some ways, warning about teaching. Here's what he says, verse 1 of chapter 3. Not many of you should become teachers. Whoa. Not many of you should become teachers. A paraphrase might be, to use his tone, it could be a big mistake if you choose to become a teacher. Not many of you should become teachers, my brothers and sisters. And here's the reason. For you know that we who teach will be judged with greater strictness. A warning about being very careful if you choose to be a teacher. And then the reason why: you will be judged, you will be scrutinized really, really carefully. So let's take a step back about teachers. Not many of you should become teachers. To teach is a high honor in any field. I mean, think about the teachers that shaped you. I think about Dr. Wade. Dr. Wade was my Greek teacher at Kent State University. And he taught me so much, not just about Greek, but about life and about discipline. We used to have to memorize crazy things, but he taught me. He was a very disciplinarian as far as instruction goes, but I remember him well. I had a professor in seminary by the name of Howard Hendricks. You might know the name. Boy, did he make an impact on me. He taught me basically how to study the Bible. And to this day, many, many years later, I still hearken back to the way Hendricks taught me to study the Bible. He also taught me the importance of humor, even in the weighty subjects of theology and church. Hendricks had a wonderful sense of humor, and I think I've learned that. I remember Ted Wingard. Ted was a man, he taught me tennis. From the time I was in third grade for many years forward, my love for tennis and the little bit of skill that I have or had, I get from Ted. And so in a general way, we understand the honor of teaching. In this context, I think he's getting very specific about, within the context of the fellowship, there is an honor to teaching. In many ways in the New Testament, because, and these are primarily Jewish believers that are scattered everywhere, their teachers have been replacing the rabbis that they were used to, the rabbis that would come and teach from a place of honor the law and the Old Testament. Now in the New Testament, we have teachers that are teaching us the new law, Christ's law and the gospel. So there's a lot here. Not many of you should become teachers, is the warning. You think about the importance of content, and that can be a problem. Teachers that have hobby horses that always want to teach the same thing over and over again, and it's their hobby horse. And it can be a theological hobby horse. Avoid those if you're a teacher. Whether it's something really good like the sovereignty of God, some people love that, and that's their hobby horse all the time. Some people, eschatology and end times things and good stuff, but get off the hobby horse. And sometimes it's politics or other things. Just teach all of it in general. And sometimes the content of the problem of teaching can be consistency with truth. There are those that have taught error, and be careful of that. The other issue of teaching, content, but I think of character. If your life is one way and your content is another, that's a real problem. You know that. We see it in the world everywhere today. So let's, as we start school soon, as we go to church soon, remember, teachers are to be honored, and teachers, if you are one, you have to be careful, because you will be scrutinized, I think, both by your listener as well as by the Lord in very, very unique and strict ways. Just be careful. I love being a teacher, and I do it with trepidation as well as with joy. That's all for Thursday. It's about teachers. We'll pick up the idea again tomorrow. I'll see you then. Have a great day.